You know, I really like Nintendo's recent idea of just shadow-dropping games and announcements out of nowhere. They did it for Paper Mario the Origami King, Hyrule Warriors, whatever, Age of Calamity, I think that's its name, and its mascot's 35th anniversary. Yeah, so picture this. It's a bright, frickin' Wednesday morning, I think. I don't really remember. You've just woken up, and through your sleepy eyes, you see a Twitter notification from Nintendo of America. You don't think much about it, so you go on with your morning. You get in the car and you decide to open up Twitter before you leave, and all of a sudden, apparently, there's been a Super Mario 35th Anniversary Direct announcing a whole slew of new games and everything. They just did it. Like, hey, tune in tomorrow, 4 in the morning EST, for a Super Mario Direct. No, they can't even be bothered. But that Direct aside, we did get one certain thing, and you might know what it is because it's the title of this gosh darn video. I'd like to present to you simultaneously the most wanted and most hated Mario game of probably the past 5 years. That game being Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Now, a little bit of history on Super Mario 3D All-Stars. The game was apparently leaked. It was one of those little 4chan, Nintendo's gonna announce this and that and this and that. And nobody really paid attention to it. It was announced that way, I think. A leak said, we're getting a 3D collection for Mario's 35th anniversary featuring Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy. Turns out 4chan can be right sometimes, who would have thunk? And so apparently that was true. Whoop-de-doo, I guess. We all knew Nintendo was going to do something for the mustachioed one's 35th birthday. I mean, this series isn't F-Zero or anything. So yeah, people were very anticipated for this game. They were really excited. The hype was pretty good when it was announced. But something caught my eye when I was participating in the hype. A lot of people were mad that these aren't remakes of the original 3D Mario games. Which I don't know why you were expecting that. I mean, this is Nintendo we're talking about. They literally put a HD texture pack over Team Kirby Clash Deluxe and put it on Switch, and everyone loved it. But then again, that's Kirby. Everyone loves Kirby. So while others were busy lambasting this game because Mario 64 isn't using some crappy mod for the PC port, Sunshine doesn't have GameCube analog support, which I don't know why they would do that. They've already tweaked the controls to fit a Pro Controller. And I don't know what people's gripe with Galaxy is. Literally nothing's changed with it, besides the fact the gyroscope, or the motion tracking, isn't as good because, again, you don't have the Wii's sensor bar, so a lot of the accuracy is kind of thrown out, but you just hit R and it recenters it, so Twitter, I guess. But don't think that I'm praising this game 100%. No. There's one glaring issue that I saw with 3D All-Stars, and with the entire Direct in general. Almost everything that Nintendo announced for Mario's 35th anniversary is limited edition. Yeah, you heard me right. These classic 3 Mario games will only be available until March 31st, I think. Don't quote me on that. And then they're just gone. They're gone forever, as far as we know. They may re-release the game for every anniversary. I really don't know. And my main issue with it being limited edition, even though I have a copy right here, and it's not like they're gonna restrict my access to actually play the game until March 31st. Super Mario 35. My main gripe with it is that it's very anti-consumer. I mean, you have 3 of what's known to be the best Mario games of all time here for arguably a reasonable price if you look at how much 64, Galaxy, and Sunshine are all worth, like, together. If you do things the legal way. I'm not saying you can just emulate all of them. The law requires I say don't emulate. So I really do not know what Nintendo was thinking making this a limited release. It's certainly going to make the game, in my opinion, a very top dollar collector's item. Like, once nostalgia for the Switch starts setting in, like 20 years from now, this game is going to be worth a lot of money. And you can quote me on that, because I am already planning on buying multiple copies, saving them for 20 years, and then making a lot of money. So, enough of me griping about games that I've played a bajillion times, except for Sunshine. And let's actually talk about the games in my actual review of them. And... Alright, so first off, we have Super Mario 64 for the Nintendo 64. Now, I must say before I get into these that I'm not going to do a comprehensive overview on the controls or the story or any of that, because these games are around nearly 25 years old at this point, which would be stupid to go over them, and redundant. You can just look up a Wikipedia article for all I care. Immediately I noticed that Super Mario 64 in 3D All-Stars is actually based off of the Shindu edition of Super Mario 64, which was a version released only in Japan, which added more voice clips, because when the game originally released in Japan, it didn't have many of the voice clips done by Charles Martinet, so a lot of the clips were just silent. The main reason I noticed this is because the backwards long jump, a widely known speedrunning technique, is immediately absent. I tried to do it in Hazy Maze Cave and realized it wasn't there. And also, I realized that once you throw Bowser in the Bowser fights, Mario does not say "So long, gay Bowser," which many of the fans have interpreted as Mario calling Bowser gay, which is not true. His over-exaggerated Italian accent, combined with the compression of the Nintendo 64, makes it sound like he's saying "So long, gay Bowser." But in this version, he just says bye-bye, because in Japan, Bowser was never referred to as Bowser, he was always referred to as Koopa. Overall, this is a very good port of Super Mario 64. I don't see any glaring issues with it, besides the fact that for some reason, the cannon controls, when you hop into a little cannon, usually when you point down on the control stick, the cannon moves up. For some reason, it's inverted here, and it really threw me off, but after a while, I got used to it. And frankly, if you're gonna whine and complain that some controls got switched around, your priorities are a little out of whack, buddy. Alright, next up we have Super Mario Sunshine, released on the Nintendo GameCube. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first time a GameCube game has ever even been ported to a modern Nintendo console without the use of the original discs, because the Wii was essentially a GameCube with motion controls. Out of all three of these games, I do think that Sunshine got the least attention, the least attention. It was revealed on Twitter a few days ago that 3D All-Stars is essentially a Nintendo 64, a GameCube, and a Wii emulator on a cartridge, which there's no problem with that. What did you expect? And there's an issue in Super Mario Sunshine when playing on an emulator. In the secret levels, many of the moving blocks and platforms have invisible cubes that they follow on their track, and for some reason on emulators, these cubes show up for some reason. You can go read an article, I may put one in the description, who knows, about why these cubes appear. And I must say, either they didn't playtest it into the secret stages, or they just were confident in their own emulator, or perhaps they even just took Dolphin, which I think may be illegal, but I don't know, I'm not making any accusations. But one prop that Sunshine does have over 64 is that the game was enhanced to make it widescreen, which I don't know why they didn't do it for 64. Maybe it's harder to do that with Nintendo 64 ROMs as opposed to GameCube ISOs. But it is neat that the game is now in widescreen, or I could just be stupid and they just stretched it out to fit my display. Super Mario Sunshine, aside from flaws the game has already been shredded to bits for having, it's a fine Mario game. These are all fine Mario games. Alright, next up is Super Mario Galaxy, released for the Wii in about 2007, I think. The only reason I said the date for Galaxy is because that's the only one I know by heart. So there's nothing really to write home about with Galaxy other than they integrated motion controls for the... I was wondering how they were going to do that, actually, where maybe they would force you to play with the Joy-Cons detached, so it's like a Wii Remote and Nunchuck, but no, they just took the gyroscope inside the controllers and made you tilt them to use the little cursor. Except for in handheld mode, where you have to tap the screen to use the little cursor to pick up star bits. I mean, it wouldn't be that hard. They had you twist the Switch around for the puzzles in Breath of the Wild. Then again, you're more frantic with Galaxy, so you probably couldn't see the screen. I don't know, I'd prefer to play it in tabletop mode if I'm gonna play Galaxy. So that's really my only complaint. These are all fine Mario games. This video is actually pretty short, so let's go back to real life me and see what my conclusions are. Goodbye! Overall, I think that Super Mario 3D All-Stars is a perfectly amazing collection of 3 fantastic 3D Mario games, and with the added benefit of having all 3 of their soundtracks just waiting there to be played, I'd honestly say if this game is still available at like your local Walmart, GameStop, Target, wherever, I'd pick it up. And even if you don't want to play these 3 games, I'd pick it up for the scalping value. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and deny scalping. I mean, this game is going to be a hot dollar game for Switch collectors. Because it's already a Mario game, and its limited availability will make its price go... I mean, I'm pretty sure they're already selling for hundreds of dollars on eBay right now. Let me check that. I mean, the highest offer right now, for one, is $10,000.